Happy Friday. Today is Friday, September the 9th, 2022. Today's daily Bible readings come to us from Psalm 14, Jeremiah 4, 1 through 10, 2 Peter 2, 1 through 10. And then you could have also read Psalm 51, 1 through 10, Genesis 7, 6 through 10, and then 8, 1 through 5, and then 2 Peter again. I'm going to look at Genesis again. We looked at that yesterday. But today, instead of talking about like God being sorry, I want to talk about how God remembers. The outcome of everything, all that, messiness that we read about yesterday is the flood narrative and God kind of hitting restart, unplugging the computer and plugging it back in. And the story, it's all about, like when it rains, it pours. Sometimes in the midst of hard times, in the midst of what seems like a world ending apocalypse, say, it rains for 40 days and 40 nights. And then, for like 100 days, the water just, 7 days, the water just kind of rises. And then it's like everything's covered up with water for 100 days, when it seems like the end of the world. It can very easily seem that God's forgotten us, forgotten his promises to be with us, to protect us, to save us. It can seem like we're just kind of lost in the flood like everyone else. I have to think that Noah and his family and all of the animals on that ark were all just, they were all just adrift in the flood. And yes, they had survived the initial deluge, right? They had survived that horror. But I'm sure that the fear and the uncertainty of just being adrift in the aftermath of all that was probably pretty palpable. It was probably pretty real for them. But in the midst of all that, we're told that God remembered. He remembered them. He remembered his promise. He remembered his faithful. And he remembered to deliver them in the midst of the flood. He remembered all that. So, maybe you're in the middle of a flood. It's the start of a new semester. It's a lot of things going on. But if you're in Christ, remember God's promises. Take heart while you watch the waters recede, that God remembers. Anyway, that's the DBR for today. Get out, enjoy the day, and we'll talk to you later. Boop.